He honore he kroria ki tatua he maunga rongo ki te matua te whenua, te whakaaro pai ki ngā tangata katoa. Mō kau ki runga tāmaki ki raro mga tōtō kei Wainganui, te tauihu te taurapo te wako o Tainui, ko Waikato Maniapoto te iwi. Mai te rangi ki te papa te mauri o te whenua, ngā ti wairere, ngā ti mahanga, ngā ti haua, koutou, ngā mana, ngā ihi, tēnei te mihi, tēnei te mihi, tēnei te mihi. Te whakahonore tō tātou kuini, tō tātou ariki nui, ngā waihono i te pō. I tērā wiki, te koronei hana tuatahi, mōna, nā te motu i tohu, nā te motu i whakatū. Pai mārire ki aia mi tōna whare. Te mihi ana ki ngā mate o tātou mā. O i amarai, o i amarai, o i amarai. Uri atu koutou whakangara ki pai rau, whakoto, oi mai, oki oki, haere atu rā. Uri noa ki a tātou, i raro te tuinui o te whare o te kaunihera arohe o Waikato. I raro te kaupapa o tō tātou whakaaitanga, kia mātou, a Maniapoto. He honore tēnei, i te tūwhere tō tātou hui, kei roto, e mihi ana ki a koe stew, nau te tono, no reira, te whakaaro pai, nei anō te pai, ka huareka, te nohonga o ngā teina me ngā tuakana i raro te whakaaro kotahi. Te hata kaupapa o ngā wai o Maniapoto. Ai, o te awa o Waipā, o tirā ki ngā wai o Maniapoto. Huri noa ki a tātou, i nei te mihi atu ki a koutou mō kaha ki te haramai a tinana, mō koutou kei runga te tīma. Reira, nau mai haramai, whakatau mai, kei roto tēnei whare, tēnā koutou. Rātou ki a rātou, tātou ki a tātou, rire, hau, pai mārire.
O tēnā koe Gannon, hei tō karakia, hei whakapai tō tātou hui, nā mihi. O kia ora koutou katoa, pai te kiti ia koutou. See we've got a new face from Waipā. Nera, tēnā koe, haere mai ki te kaupapa. Okay, so look, we've got two of our colleagues online who are under time constraints, so I'll just run through our admin stuff really quickly. So, apologies, we've got Trustee Maria Maniapoto, Mayor John Robinson, Eddie Manawaiti, and we've also, I thought we had one more, did we? Is that it? Any further apologies? I'll move those. Jamie's happy to second. All those in favour, please say aye. One more, sorry. John Carty and Toyota as well. So confirm those. Everyone's happy that the agenda covers all the business we want to do today. No further additions. Yep, it was myself and Jamie. I'll move that the agenda in front of you be our business for the meeting, seconded by Ronnie. Happy to second. All those in favour, please say aye. Against, carried. Are there any disclosures of interest that haven't already been noted? Okay, so I'm going to cross to you, Sam. Just FYI, I see Paul, welcome. I see you're online there. And I note you're only available till 2:30. So I'll start with you, Sam, and then we'll go to the schedules with Paul once you're finished. Yeah. So kia ora, Sam.
Kia ora tātou, i ngā rauranga te rama. Mihi atu kia koe, Gavin, whakatuwhera tā tātou hui i tēnei ahi I roti te huitopa, I te kanohi hoki. Kia ora whānau, Sammy Kaire here. Look, we just wanted to take an opportunity to provide an update where we're at from the Te Nehenehenui operations perspective, acknowledging that we have our trustees in the room right now. Currently, TNN is going through its next round of elections, and in doing so, we'll have those announced for our coming September at the September 20th AGM. One of the items we wanted to talk to you about, though, as part of our punga phase, we have been working towards hauora, mātauranga, whanake, taiao, and akanui. In those categories, that comes down to health, education, housing, connecting Maniapoto to Maniapoto and our taiao environment. One of the pieces that we've been able to bring to fruition through the support of the trustees as well as the work of my team has been the Te Kirikiri project, which is the beginning aspects of our housing aspirations as we look to build 40 homes in conjunction with the Ministry of Housing and Urban Development. As such, we want to thank the Waitomo District Council for all the support so far to date as we've been working towards completing that mahi. So to Ben and the team, thank you very much, and obviously to John. It's been this through things like this JMA that's created relationships that have allowed us to do something special. We're also looking to connect up as our next phase as we're just in Wellington and we met with the Prime Minister and his ministerial forums to share with them the scope and scale of Maniapoto's next steps. And one of the pieces we wanted to do is work closer with Waipā District Council as we move towards the LINZ preparation of the deferred selection property in Tokanui. So obviously we'll be in touch about that, and was hoping to have a chat with Steph and the team and maybe get our teams back together. We also have been working on closing out our southern JMA, which looks like it's going to come to a closeout thanks to the good work of Tremaine and Jason. Jason's new. He's a new face in the room for our team, but he will introduce himself, I don't doubt. And I do apologise for not being here in person. We're off to Wellington this afternoon. And then finally, the iwi continues to push our programs for health and education, looking at we kickstarted our Kaumātua package, which has now been started to filter out to our 65 and older for insurance, as well as looking at pulling together some focus on education and helping our tamariki grow. So working with all of the schools within the region, we just appreciate our relationships between the schools within all 5 rohe, and then also the support that we get as we meet with the Ōtorohanga District Council, Waitomo, and then soon to be the Waipā. Mihi atu kia koe ngira, tō mahi hau, pai ki tia koe I tēnei ahiahi. So you need no introduction. We all know who you are. You were that lovely man I met at Raukawa back in 2015 as we opened up the Litchfield site, and you were there to deal with us then. So I'm glad to see you back here. So that's our update from Te Nehenehenui. We just thank you all for the efforts today coming together with the JMA. We want to impress upon our members that this relationship is already starting to bear fruit. And as we build towards the next phase of our aspiration, our journey in the punga phase, and then into Tumutumu, which are 2 aspects of our strategy, that our relationships with Waipā, Waitomo, and Ōtorohanga, Waikato District Council, as well as the Regional Council overall, will remain a key focus to help us manifest the wawata of our people as we move forward. So kia ora. Any pātai or
Tēnā koe, Sam. Yeah, just before we open to full pātai, Tremaine or Jason, do you want to add anything? Or no? Okay, so any pātai for Sam? Nehenehenui? No, 2 of our members are in your neck of the woods anyway, so no, all good. Hey, thank you, Sam. Appreciate that update. Okay, I'll move that Sam's verbal report be received. Happy to second. Ronnie's happy to second. All those in favour, please say aye. Against, carried. Now, I'll just take us back one. Sorry, I forgot to do the minutes of our last hui on 11th of December 2024. Gee, that was a long time ago. Is anyone got any corrections to those minutes? Hope not. Okay, let's cover mover and a seconder. From Gannon's happy to move and Jamie's happy to second. Oh, as long as you were there, that's only. Okay, Jamie's happy to move and Shannon's happy to second. All those in favour, please say aye. Against, carried. Paul, we'll cross over to you if that's all right, to take us through those schedules. We've all read them.
Tēnā koe, Mr. Chair. Tēnā koutou e rau rangatira mā, ko Paul Beverley tōku ingoa. Yeah, thanks for the opportunity again today to come and present. And I should say, tēnā koe, Gannon, e te kai karakia, mua whakatūwhera e tā tātou hui, ngā mihi. I wonder, Tremaine, if I might, would you like to, is Tremaine in the room or is she online? I can't really see. Oh, you're there. Oh, kia ora. Would you like to open up, or Jason, with any comments? And then I'm very happy to follow you.
Kia ora tātou. Firstly, just acknowledge you, Paul, for the mahi that you've done in terms of pulling together our schedules, working alongside all of our councils and our working group of staff of the councils and Te Nehenehenui. So just want to acknowledge all of those kaimahi in the room today and who aren't here, all the mahi that's been put into it since, I think, December last year. We put in front of our JMA forum the draft schedules. Since that time, each council have had the chance to undertake comprehensive reviews of those schedules. And we've also included the sites of significance schedule to be prepared as a part of the full package today. So just wanting to acknowledge everyone that participated in developing and getting these schedules through your various governance or table councillors. So kia ora tātou. Hand back to you, Paul.
Kia ora, Tremaine. Thank you. So, Mr. Chair, the report explains well what has been happening. There are now schedules 2 to 9. Sorry, just to take a step back, the joint management agreement, as everybody knows, was signed in December 2023. Since that time, we've and just to tōtoko and support Tremaine's comments, it has been a really fantastic collaborative effort between Te Nehenehenui, each of the 5 councils, and their governance, their executive leadership and their working teams have really come together, and it has been a really great process to be a part of. There's really been 2 things happen. One is that the schedules have been developed. As we know, those schedules provided for in the Maniapoto settlement. The core schedules are, and then there are some additional schedules that have been included. The version that's before the co-governance forum today has a few track changes in it, and including to reflect that the engagement strategy is now going to be developed following the approval of this document. So there's some track changes to reflect that. So happy to talk through those schedules. That's helpful, Mr. Chair. The other set of amendments we have done is to the front end of the agreement, because when it was signed at the end of 2023, it said the parties will get on and develop the schedules. Now we're in 2025, the schedules are developed and they'll be included into the agreement, and there are some consequential changes in the agreement to make it read properly, because otherwise it will be a bit strange to say you'll get on and do 18 months of schedule development and then all the schedules are there. So the councils have indicated support to those consequential changes. There is one clause at clause 46, which has a reference to a review undertaken no later than July this year. There was an earlier date that was put in there, and Tremaine, we probably need to just quickly go around the councils and confirm people are happy for that to be extended out, because I understand that review is going to happen down the track, certainly not going to happen this year, but we can come back to that. So I won't speak, if it's all right with you, Mr. Chair, any further to the schedules at the moment. Very happy to answer any questions, but if people would prefer me to speak through each of them quickly, I'm very happy to do that as well. Kia ora.
Look, I don't think we need to, but I'm just going to give each member an opportunity. Does anything you guys want to hone in on?
Can I just, through the chairs,
Sure. Yeah.
just acknowledge all the mahi that's been done to date to get us to this point. I think historically, I just want people to go back that for Maniapoto, we've been part of this kaupapa in regards to participating in these forums. We were given the opportunity back in 2010 after the Waikato River settlement to be able to participate. In 2012, we had our own piece of legislation that came through. The joint management agreement and the intent of it is really to ensure for Maniapoto that we're able to participate and be part of all the processes of council and central government. The JMA is just one tool that we are enabling our people on the ground, our kaitaki, to tell their stories and what it means to be Ngāti Maniapoto me ona hapu maha. Obviously, now that we've got a treaty settlement in place, that has allowed us to be able to get to this point around having the schedules as part of it. So we can start to see some tangible outcomes for our people. Yes, in the Waipā, but also across our tribal entity, across Te Nehenehenui. And that's the most important part of the intent of why we want to ensure that these schedules go through, because at one level we have these engagements at a governance level, but really for us, what really matters is operational relationships and where our people in place engage and participate in all parts of council business, and that's important to us. So kia ora. That's it from me.
Kia ora, Gannon. Jamie, do you want to add anything?
No, kia ora koutou. I just want to probably acknowledge and run off the back of Tremaine and Gannon and all the hard work that everyone's put in. It's a big machine with lots of pieces, but I think that one of the most important things is people. So forging those relationships is important, and keeping them together, keeping them open, keeping them honest is one way we can ensure that this JMA, like Gannon said, spreads the breadth of our tribal boundaries. So I acknowledge all the hard work that's gone in. But I think one of the biggest things for me is that, you know, with the new lot of whānau coming into these spaces, is that they're up to play, and that that can only happen with the ones sitting at the table on the hui tupa, that we relate that message back to them that they're up to play, so we're not going back 100 steps to go forward one step again, that we're on the 100th step and we're doing 101. So yeah, that's all I just, ngā mihi, kia koutou.
Kia ora, Jamie. Shannon?
Kia ora tātou, Ronald Takere. Just a question, if we're looking at, and it's more to the councils, a resource consent process, what's the reality of providing a timely summary or consent applications? So if I use use IRIS, the Waikato Regional Council, we get the information bang straight away. Waitomo District Council, I understand you're still working on that, because we get the information 30 days after when it's too late. So if we're talking about reality, how long will that take for Waitomo District Council for their platform to be ready?
Did you pick that one up, Ben?
Yeah, no, I understand that. Yep, so I understand that's been talked through in detail with the team around when we're going through those schedules. That's where we're at the moment. I know Alex and the team have certainly are working towards that. but I don't have the detailed knowledge to expressly answer that question. Yeah, Paul, you may know more from your direct interface.
Kia ora, Ben, thank you.
And just through the chair, yes, thank you, Ben. So the schedule provides that the summary must be provided as soon as reasonably practicable after the application is received. So as soon as it's received, the obligation is a relatively immediate one, whether that's done through a mechanism like IRIS or another mechanism. But the obligation is as soon as reasonably practicable, if that's helpful clarification.
Thanks, Paul. So just before we wrap up, again, and could just acknowledge your kōrero and you as well, Jamie. And look, for me, this is in our council. I think it's fair to say it's all about mahi tahi working together, eh? And it's because this is the only one where we have the district councils and the regional council in the room as well, which makes it's a lot more practical, a lot more straightforward. We're not sort of left wondering where the other councils are sitting on some of this stuff. So now look, it works really well. So just echo again, and it's mihi to all of you that have been involved in putting these schedules together, and to you as well. Thank you, Paul. We appreciate the constructive and helpful relationship we've got with you as well. So thank you very much. So I'm not seeing any further pātai. So page 17, we've got 3 recommendations there. One is just that we receive the report. Number 2, where this committee is going to approve these draft schedules from 2 through to 9, and then each partner organisation is going to proceed with their approval processes. I'm anticipating we'll possibly be into the new Triennium with some of the councils. Marley?
Kia ora koutou. I'll cover off that question pretty quickly. I understand that most councils have already gone through the process of approval, right, and there are only a couple of councils left to go through that process ourselves. Yeah. And I believe Ōtorohanga might be the other council. There is certainly still opportunity for that to happen this triennium, and from a WRC perspective, that's certainly what we'll be trying to achieve.
Okay, well, look, I'll certainly be doing my best. I think we're the 25th of September for our council hui. So
I think so for Ōtorohanga District Council, we were just waiting on this JMA hui to happen. Cool. To be able to.
Cool. Okay. Yep. Okay, so I'll move those 3 recommendations. Gannon is happy to second. All those in favour, please say aye. Hence carried. Oh, thank you, Paul. And I guess we'll, as a governance committee, we'll appreciated your contribution to this process, and we'll no doubt catch up in the new Triennium.
Kia ora, thank you very much. Much appreciated. He kona.
Okay, so now we're going to go to the this one here. So you can do that one, and so this is Naomi Crawford. Just use this one.
Kia ora, so 6.2. I'll take this as read. Can I have a move in a second? I'll just, if you can take over, Naomi, and give us an update.
Yeah. Kia ora. Naomi Crawford, tauka whenua, team leader water policy at Waikato Regional Council. So I'm happy to take the report as read on page 54 of the agenda pack. I'll just highlight a few points and then I'm happy to take some questions. So the Freshwater Policy Review, which is important to remember, that's water quality, water quantity, full region across the Waikato Regional Council boundary. We're tracking on with our development of draft policy options informed by technical evidence and engagement feedback. We're continuing to work alongside Te Raupuhotu, our project steering group, and we've also presented to the Waiora Co-Governance Committee this morning, and also some 2 meetings before that. I guess an update on engagement at the moment is that we've had a couple of hui regarding the Collaborative Science Advisory Group to support the policy development program. At this point in time, we're delaying sector engagement given the landscape of RMA reforms at the moment and the uncertainty around national direction instruments. Tangata whenua engagement is continuing. We've got hui planned, and we've got our own, also the Ngātira Mātauranga group, and we had a recent hui with that group on the 25th of August, so just recently. The other thing I'd just highlight here is obviously the interim decision on PC1 also came out on the 29th of May, and there's a final decision expected into next year. And the last thing I would say is really that policy development is very much in a, really norming and storming sort of stage. There's a lot of stuff happening in the RMA space at the moment, so that's really feeding into our process. But I'm happy to touch on any questions that you might have on the report.
Anyone got any questions for Naomi? Councillor.
Oh, it's already, this question was asked at the Waikato Committee earlier today, and I know that Tracy answered it, but specifically around some of the provisions, specifically around the land stop, and just really for the benefit of the other members around the table, just get a response in regards to, does that affect our settlements and specifically our JMAs? But for Maniapoto, we have a bottom line expectation that whatever's achieved in Plan Change 1 won't affect our way or Maniapoto into the rest of our tribal estates. So that's my question. Hopefully it's the same as earlier.
Kia ora, thanks, Gannon. So I'm happy to respond to that. Your question is around, that plan stop, obviously, that's come out just recently from the government, literally the end of August. So as Tracy was saying this morning at the Wairaroko Governance Committee meeting, it doesn't stop, Te Tori Whaimana still is held as primacy, obviously, as a planning instrument above the RMA. It doesn't affect the Freshwater Policy Review. We will still be tracking on. We will still be knowing our plan development process. And regarding PC1, that doesn't stop, PC1 either. So, I'm happy to provide this Te Nehenehenui as well with, the paper from the Wairaroko Committee, if that's useful as well, around some of the background about those sections in the RMA and the protection around, obviously, treaty settlement legislation. And,
Thank you, Naomi. Look, the point I really want to ensure that for clarity, for the Joint Management Committee is for Maniapoto, it's important to have consistency across all the councils. Doesn't matter where you're placed in our in Te Nehenehenui, that our relationships are the same across. And so we have an expectation that whatever's been achieved through Plan Change 1 under Te Ture Whaimana, that will have a consistency across the whole of Te Nehenehenui. So I just want to, if that's just a comment through the chairs. Thank you.
That paper that we had this morning, that would be good to circulate, I think, just for people's information in terms of those legislation changes that the government have done, because we sort of all need to be over that. So,
happy to provide that.
Cool, thank you.
Any other questions for Naomi? Good, Naomi, thank you for that.
Thank you. Cool.
Just that,
Aroa mai, agenda 6.3. Can I have a mover and seconder for that long-term plan timeline? Gannon and Shannon. And all those in favour, say aye. Kia ora. I'll leave it up to you now, Nika. Kia ora.
Kia ora, ko Annika Hamilton toku ingoa. I work in the corporate planning team here. I'm standing in for Jane today, who unfortunately is sick and unable to present the report. But the purpose of this report is really to give a high-level overview of the LTP process. The process will start at the beginning of next year. But you'll see on page 60 of your report, there's a bit of a timeline, high-level timeline there. And between November and March 2026, the Council will be inviting iwi to take part in focus workshops to discuss shared opportunities that will help shape the Council's strategic direction. So the strategic direction will be the foundation document that guides the LTP, and that would be adopted in April 2026. The LTP process, as I said, will then formally will commence in early 2026 and needs to be adopted by June 2027. We'll be bringing regular updates, including opportunities for participation throughout this committee as we move through the process, and just welcome any feedback now if you have any on engagement.
Any questions for Anika? Thank you for your report.
Okay, so we'll go to Waikato District Council's update. Yeah, absolutely. Please come up. Yep.
Through the chair, just to raise the conflict of interest, I work at the Waikato District Council.
We've got that one there. Tēnā koro. Over to you.
Tēnā tātou katoa kua huhui mai I tēnei rangi a tāhua. Mihi kauana ki a koe e titu ngāni nau tō tātou hui whakatūwhera I tēnei ahiahi. Nei rā te mihi atu ki o koutou, ko waiwā ki te kōrero, ki te nohotahi e pāna ki tēnei kaupapa whakahirahira. E mihi ana ki o koutou, ko tai mai ki te koroneihana I tērā wiki hoki. Pai te kite I a koutou, he kaupapa tēnō whakahirahira tērā mō tātou katoa. So, nei rā ka mihi, nei rā ka mihi, nei rā ka mihi. Kei konei au ki te nohotahi te taha o taku kaimahi, Alicia. I've thrown her into the hot seat. And I will pretty much allow her the opportunity to just talk to two brief kaupapa in our report, take the report as read, but we do want to highlight two particular kaupapa that we think would be really helpful and supportive of the mahi that Te Nehenehenui are doing. Over to you, Alicia.
Tēnā koutou. Ko Alicia toku ingoa, as my hair just said. Ko kairuruku pātuitanga ārangarau taki o te kaunihira a Takiwa o Waikato. The items we'd like to give you a brief update on is our election and Māori ward update. So we've been preparing for the October elections and the Māori ward referendum. While obviously councils are unable to influence voter decision, we're working with Waikato Tainui and Taurikura to support positive messaging and encourage voting around the importance of Māori wards. We've attended wānanga with our fellow councils to improve Māori voter turnout and are sharing information through Tuetu Pānui, social media, Tainui Live, kura programs and events like Pokai. Also working hard to ensure that there's mobile voting ballot boxes available to increase turnout. And importantly, we'd just like to highlight the mahi being done around Toitu Marae through our Māori partnerships team. Toitu Marae is part of our phase strategy to build meaningful relationships with marae and mana whenua. And this is something we've been working on since 2021 with Waikato Tainui and other iwi groups, establishing mana whenua forums, and are now on the terms of reference and just in the beginning of seeing this come to life. So we've held 2 hui so far and shared 3 editions of Toitu Marae Pānui to keep marae informed, Phase 1 focuses on sharing relevant info, and Phase 2 moves to co-design of the engagement forums and formalising relationships. Heoi anō I te whānau, ngā mihi nui, kia koutou.
Tēnā koe, Lisa. Well, first pātai, please. I wasn't aware of the concept of mobile ballot boxes. Are they like caravans, are they?
We've put into place mobile. No, we're taking a ballot box with us. We've got quite a number of team members that's been trained up as election officers.
Right.
So yep, we're being responsive to different community events that's taking place. But specifically for our Māori partnerships team, we're going to Pokai, and at the Waipā Pokai is where we'll be doing quite a number of special votes. Yeah, for whānau that have the voting papers sitting inside, forget it, and take them through that process. So in addition to that, just giving updates through our social media and updates through the website, just to keep our whānau informed.
Interesting to see if Waikato district tops the polling in terms of voter turnout.
We were one of the worst at the last elections. I think we were the third in the New Zealand. So we want to get better than that. But yeah, just through collective approach around with our partners, as Alicia has said, as well as having lots of kaimahi on the ground to support. We'll see how successful it is at the end.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, pai te mahi, yeah. Be good, yeah. Any other pātai? Oh, Tilly, you got a pātai there online? Tilly? Might be muted, I think.
Kia ora tātou. And just to support the team that have come in today, I'd just like to say that the Toitū Marae forums have been really successful. We have had a 90% support from all of that engagement, the few engagements that we have done. And we are taking it slowly because we want Marae to decide how they want to engage within this forum rather than put them into boxes like we do with community boards. So it's a work in progress, but I'd like to make a comment about the relationship that we've got with the Nehenehenui for the Waikato District Council. I'm really pleased to say that I love this fact that we're working in as a collective. And we don't do that with the Tainui JMA. So I'm just saying that I really love how this forum sits and how we're talking collectively about with all of the different councils, the regional council included. It's actually something that I'm going to try and see if I can do in the Waikato spot. I thought I just wanted to leave that with you before our team finish. Kia ora.
Tēnā koe whaia, yeah, out of those. Just, Gannon?
Yeah, thank you, Auntie Tilly. Appreciate those comments. I just want to let you know the context of how we got to having one JMA, and it stems back to the 2008 deed of settlement, which was signed in 2008. But within that deed of settlement, they had a statutory board. And the intent of the statutory board was to bring local and central government together around the same table.
Yeah.
However, with the change of government the following year, it was amended, and then they introduced JMAs and accords to replace the statutory board. So for Maniapoto, we know the importance of actually having the people around the same table, having a one conversation. So really it was important for us to carry on with the same whakaaro. We'll get there, There will be a time where we can bring in central government as well, but that's probably further down the line in regards to ngā wai o Maniapoto. Thank you very much. Kia ora.
Yeah, and I'd just like to add that I do know that Waikato Tāne were the first off the block, and so that was probably the reason why they just have the different relationships with the different councils. But I do love this forum. And I just wanted to let you know that it's good to know that how everybody is involved and that we know what one another's councils are doing, and we're coming in for the benefit of Maniapoto, the Nehenehenui. That's what's really a good focus for me. I love the fact that we're doing it for the necessity of this particular forum for the Nehenehenui. Everybody at the same table, everybody agreeing, and I really do like it. I'm just letting you know that from my perspective, could help with our Tainui relationship, that we get all those councils and all of the different relationships in the one room at the same time to talk kōrero. That's all I wanted to add, Stan. That's all. Thank you very much for letting us be a part of this.
Ngā mihi. You got a pātai?
No, I don't have a pātai, just more of a mihi. So ngā mihi to use, thinking outside the box with the Māori water referendum. We know it's a little bit of in some spaces, kind of the taboo question, but we also know in some spaces it's the support is needed. So I look forward to hearing the outcome, and I think, we need, and this is the space in terms of JMA, how we can try some of those out of the box kaupapa and whakaaro, because I think, with everyone at the table, we can support. So ngā mihi, and I look forward to it.
Tēnā koroa i tō koroa. Haere mai, kia whai wahi mai, ngā mihi nui. Kia ora. Oh, actually, before I forget, I just need a mover and a seconder for that report, please. So Jamie and Shannon, those in favour, please say aye. Against, carried.
Kia ora tātou, kia ora Tony. Our next in the item is 6.5, the Ōtorohanga District Council Initiatives Update. Can I have a mover and a seconder, please? Jamie. Leave it up to you, Tony. Kia ora.
Kia ora, tēnā koutou katoa. Just like to acknowledge first all the whānau who have been affected by events in the last 48 hours in Arohi. It's a very tragic event that's happened there. So I don't have any actually speaking points to this. Cassidy pulled this together. He's double booked today and got another commitment. So happy just to receive any pātai that anyone may have.
We have any pātai for Tony? Kia ora, Tony, there's no pātai for you, so great job.
Short and sweet.
Kia ora.
Ngā mihi.
Waipā District Council. Tēnā koroa. I read the other day in the paper that you joined the team there, Nita. Haere mai.
I was waiting for a clap.
Tēnā koutou katoa, ko Kirsty Downey, tōku ingoa, Group Manager Strategy and Deputy Chief Executive. It's an absolute privilege to be joined by my new colleague, Nita, today, day one of his tenure with us at Waipā District Council. So we're super excited to have him as part of our Waipā whānau. Can I please just check whether Steph and Mayor Susan are online?
So Steph.
Kia ora, we are here indeed. We're here beaming in from the balmy tropics of Te Mutu.
Ngā mihi koroa.
Great. So I wonder, I'd like to request that the report be taken as read and then do have some key points to highlight, but I'm mindful that Susan and Steph would like to be able to speak to providing an update on waters and that they have a time limitation. So Steph, if you'd like to lead off with that, and then I can come in with the other matters
Thank you.
Kia ora koutou, e te rangatira, i te hemana Stu, tēnā koe, e te rangatira mā o tēnei hui, tēnā koutou katoa. I just want to endorse Kirsty's words that we're delighted to have Nita join us today. Had a wee small mihi whakatau this morning at Nita's request, but excited to have Nita join our executive leadership team in a new role of Kaihotu Strategic Māori Partnership. So that signals where we're going in our commitment to this kaupapa and our treaty partnerships. Stu, my role, I just wanted to update folks on the waters CCO that's been formed by 7 of the rural and provincial councils, obviously, which we're part of, as is Waitomo and Ōtorohanga. The CCO has now been formed. It's a company. The first chair and 2 directors have been appointed. You may have seen that in the media. There's been a lot of work over the last year to get to this point. So I just want to acknowledge all of the 7 councils, which does include Taupo, South Waikato, Matamata Piako and Hauraki district as well, on getting to this point. But a key driver for us and all of the mayors as the shareholding forum was healthy waters, healthy people, driving the kaupapa of Waikato Waters Limited, and looking for opportunities that align with the kaupapa of the river settlement in terms of looking to innovate in the water space and getting the CCO to think differently over time about delivering great water services to people of our communities, our hapori. So that'll be about innovating, taking catchment-based approaches, etc., etc. But the first couple of years will be about the transition rather than transformation. So the 6 different councils in the first instance come in over a period of 2 years, maybe 2.5 years. And Taupo is only a service delivery contracting arrangement at the moment. They've got a future pathway to join if they choose. So a significant amount of work going in terms of transition and kick-off date with 3 councils, ourselves, Waitomo and Ōtorohanga, as of 1 July next year. So I've mentioned this to Sam a couple of times, and now with Nita on board and our own transition team being stood up, probably time to come and have a direct conversation with Te Nehenehenui. And also, I know that Vaughan Payne, who's the transition establishment director, has been having conversations, and I think that there's a combined meeting coming up with all of the iwi CEs and the CEs of the councils involved and Vaughan in a couple of weeks' time on a Friday, so that we keep talking to iwi across these spaces and look for the opportunities for iwi as the CCO develops as well. We've also got a really strong line of communication to EOY, the Hamilton and Waikato District CCO, and looking for collaborative opportunities in there. And particularly when we think about the whole of river approach, both Waipā and Waikato rivers, it'll be really good to see those 2 CCOs working really collaboratively in time to come to think about the best interests of he tangata and he wai, he taio. So I'm happy to answer any questions, but just wanted to take the opportunity to give you a quick update because it's moved at speed. It's been a lot of work, and I just want to acknowledge my counterparts, Ben and Tanya, who have been part of the journey with their teams as well. So ngā mihi nui, Ben. I see you're online, and kia ora to the team from Ōtorohanga District.
Tēnā koe, Steph. Thank you for that update. Really, really useful and really helpful. Any pātai on Steph's update? No, very, very well explained. Thank you, Steph.
Kia ora.
Oh, hang on. Got Jamie.
I just saw in the report that there was some conversation happening with Te Nehenehenui around procurement in terms of building a plan. I don't know if the pātai's to you, Steph, but or would there be a time that we could bring some of that, those outcomes in terms of that conversation to this table so that we can possibly, again, be across lots of it in terms of our own economic districts?
Yeah, absolutely. I think Kirsty can probably talk to the detail more, Jamie, but I think developing a work program with Te Nehenehenui, exactly, I was just admiring the work program of Waikato District Council as their appendix in outlining that and really focusing on those procurement opportunities and punupakahi, as we've been doing with Waikato Tainui and doing growing that with Te Nehenehenui. But my answer is yes in short form, but I'm sure that Kirsty's got something to add to that as well.
Thank you, Steph. Absolutely. So Steph just mentioned the work that we've been doing with Waikato Tainui, and we've developed a strategic work program and priorities for focus for the next 3 years, and we review that annually. That would be something that we're keen to explore with Waikato Tainui. With Te Nehenehenui. We met as leadership teams late last year when Steph joined the organisation, and we identified some areas of common interest, particularly around housing, the economy and procurement. There have been some preliminary discussions with Wayne Pānapa in relation to exploring opportunities to work with Te Nehenehenui to upskill your people to be able to then become SHE qualified, so which is a prerequisite for tendering, not only with Waipā District Council, but with other councils. We're waiting to get a response from the Te Nehenehenui team, but that's certainly something that we're keen to explore, is to provide that training, then Te Nehenehenui can actually provide that ongoing. And then there are opportunities to look at tender processes and how we can work with you to upskill your punapakahi to be able to submit tenders and ensure that the best possible opportunities are put forward. If you're comfortable, I'll just highlight some other key points. So just with regard to the long-term plan, we had the 25-34 long-term plan approved in mid-July. There were some delays with our audit process, which was more complex than what we anticipated at the outset, having regard to the work that being undertaken with waters. So that's been approved, and now we are planning for an amendment to the LTP. And that is a procedural requirement with waters transferring to the CCO for 1st of July 2026. At the same time, we're also required to do an annual plan for 26-27, and like our council partners, we are also in the very early stages of planning the 27-37 long-term plan. We're very keen to explore opportunities for how we engage with mana whenua and iwi right from the get-go. So keen to hear from Te Nehenehenui and our mana whenua partners about what that could look like. Just in relation to Ahuaki, our Waipā Community Spatial Plan, you'll recall from our hui back in December that we had just commenced formal consultation on the draft plan and implementation plan. We received a high level of feedback from our stakeholders, partners and the community, and that was approved by Council in March of this year, together with an implementation plan which has short, medium and long-term projects and initiatives. The Council was really mindful as to the changes and the financial constraints that we face, and was wanting to ensure that we are actually able to deliver some tangible outcomes. So at the end of August, Council approved an implementation summary plan focused on this current financial year. And one of the foundation pieces for that is ensuring that we develop a framework for monitoring and measuring, monitoring and reporting, as well as ensuring that we are able to roll out Ahuaki throughout our organisation, but also that we take the opportunity to bring life to Ahuaki. We developed that in partnership with mana whenua and iwi from the get-go. So as part of the implementation, we want to continue to do that in an authentic and meaningful way. And I guess just we included in the report that we had been successful at the Super Local Awards recognition of our engagement with mana whenua and iwi, and we're incredibly proud of the work that we've undertaken with that, and keen to ensure that that remains a basis on which we further engage and partner. And now that we have NETA on board, we will be looking at our partnership framework. Just with regard to the district plan change program, just one plan change to highlight there. And I know that it was a topic for questioning at the December Hui Plan Change 23 Papakainga. And at that time, we hadn't made a huge progress. In fact, there was a decision made to sort of slow that down and pause, given what was happening at central government. So you'll see in the report that now we have seen the National Environmental Standard and understand that that will align with the work that we've been doing with the plan change. So we're just awaiting the outcome of that, and then we will revisit what we need to do in this space. And then finally, just in regard to the elections, so like our colleagues at Waikato District, we've wanted to do things differently this time round. We don't want to just roll out what we've done previously. So we have taken guidance from Tiffany Wilson as our Mana Whenua iwi engagement lead, and working with Steph and the executive team have developed a changed approach, and that really is engaging at place and with a people focus. So we've reached out to Marae within the district to understand what events will be held at Marae and how we can have our transportable voting box available for those events. Keen to further explore what other opportunities there might be. We've attended Pokai. We're looking at attending the Haora at Mangatotoa Marae. But certainly, if you're aware of events or opportunities, we have connected with our colleagues and partners at Waikato Tainui and using their channels. So we would be keen to explore that with Te Nehenehenui also. We're using Māori radio channels. And yeah, so happy to take any further questions that you might have. Thank you.
Tēnā koe, Kirsty, thank you. Really useful update. Just curious, so the mobile voting booth, whatever you want to call it, do you have to get pre-permission where you take that, or the council can decide, hey, we're going to go to such and such a place today and just set it up?
So with those, we can decide where they go, but we have to have those manned by electoral officials. So we ensure that we have appropriately trained staff available. And then we obviously, it's about security of the vote. But there's opportunities to provide for special votes and also enrolment whilst we're open. We're open now today for voting. With voting, so voting papers available. And really,
so, for example, you set up at the farmers market in Cambridge, I turn up there, but my voting papers are at home, I can still vote.
Absolutely. And look, we will accept voting papers for any of the Waikato councils. We're going to have a voting box at the airport for people who are travelling and, you know, trying to make it easier and more accessible for our communities.
Oh, awesome. Gannon.
Thank you, Kirsty, for the update. Let's see, the relationships, Susan and Steph with Mana Whenua are very good just by reading this report. But I'd just like to mihi ana kia koe te rangatira i te tuakana, a te raukawa, ira, mohi ai tō whakatau i te ata nei. Koe anō, ka tū ki te mihi atu ki a koe o mahi ki te tari o te kiingi. Tauawa o iara i te ao i te pō. Te ao i te pō. Wai Māori a rātou, te kaunihira a Waipā, ki te whiwhia i a koe. Wai Māori a hoki mātou, kei kōrnā, kei roto te kaunihira. Rere e kore e mutu te whakamihi atu ki a koe. Nō reira, tēnā koe, tēnā tātou, kia ora whānau.
Okay, no further pātai. Oh, tēnā koroa, thank you very much, Kirsty, Neta. I'm a Waipā voter too, Neta, so. Okay, Oh, okay. I'll move that that report be received, and Ronnie's going to second it. All those in favour, please say aye. Against, carried. Waitomo District Council. Ben, are you there online?
Kia ora, ko Ben Spit, tōku ingoa. First thing, thank you very much for all the kind wishes and thoughts that we've had going through what have been our really tragic last few days, and certainly our apologies from Mayor John, who's been very involved with that, so is unable to be with us today. Steph and Kirsty did a wonderful job of introducing most of what I have in the report. So I'll take the annual plan, LTP amendment, LTP, and particularly the Waikato Waters activities as read. It's been a privilege to be part of the Waikato Waters process, and it's great to see us, 7 of us, working really well together and having that engagement with iwi. I won't comment on the annual report, just in terms of just some of the other changes, looking to close our landfill and looking particularly at a water resilience upgrade, which would be a major possible factor for Te Kuiti. Otherwise, I've got nothing further to add, so no, thank you.
Oh, thanks, Ben. Any pātai for Ben, Waitomo District? No, we're all good. Hey, thank you very much, Ben, and acknowledge the challenges you guys are going through. So, yeah, kia ora. Okay, so that's the end of our formal agenda items. I'll move the report, and Gannon will second. Waitomo, all those in favour, please say aye. Against, carried. So, yeah, the end of 3 years. Doesn't feel like 3 years, but started with Wiki Tore in this seat, and then Maria, and then Ronnie. So been some revolving chairs, but look, thoroughly enjoyed working with all of you. It's been a really good, as has been acknowledged a number of times through this hui today. It's been a really good relationship, really good mahi and really positive mahi, and there's been some real milestones, of course, with signing off the agreements as well. So they were small ceremonies, but nonetheless they said a lot. So yeah, kia koe Gannon, Tremaine, Jason, ngā mihi nui, and I'm not sure if Sam's still online, but if he is, tēnā koe Sam. Yeah, it's been a real pleasure, and from our council's perspective, it's been really, really easy, and we've really appreciated the constructive working relationship with everyone that's been involved in this kaupapa, and we trust it will continue. There's a few of us will know in 3 weeks whether we've still got a job, so yeah, we won't try and make any predictions on that one, but fingers crossed, yeah. I certainly hope that if I do get the opportunity to come back, I'd like to continue with this kaupapa. I really enjoy working with you all, so yeah. But does anyone else want to sort of add any closing comments before we wrap up?
Through the chairs, I agree, Stu, and I don't want to let the today go by without acknowledging the significance on how far we have come in regards to being able to agree at this committee. I know that still has to go through the other committees around the schedules. For me, that's really the signal that we're heading in the right direction together. And obviously the intent is to ensure that we, as Maniapoto, are able to participate in the process of councils in a productive and efficient and effective way, where we know that at the grassroots, our people feel the same way operationally. So, tēnā koe. Tēnā koutou, tēnā tātou.
Tēnā koe, Gannon. Tilly, before we close off, you there still? Anything you'd like to add?
Yeah, Kia ora, Stu. Look, kia ora, Mr. Chair. It's been an experience for me to sit in this Te Nehenehenui committee, and so this forum, because I've learned heaps. And I just wanted to make a comment on congratulating the councils that have gone on your own water journey with the Three Waters development that's happened. We've gone with Hamilton, but it's really uplifting to hear how the other councils are taking the whole river approach. I know we made our decision around coming together for our reasons that our councillor in Hamilton City did to do the ERYCCO, but it's wonderful to hear the Waipā report that Stefan gave for where it looks from the rest of the Waikato River. It's something that worried me right from the start, that we were just looking at a small gap of the Waikato River, and knowing that now that that's going on, it makes me feel really confident and actually really quite settled that things are looking the way they are looking, and just from listening to the report, which I would never have been able to hear in any other forum probably. So congratulations to Waipā, Ōtorohanga, and all the other smaller councils right down to Taupo that are taking that challenge on. And I know that we're talking with the Hamilton City Council in ERY that sometime in the future that could possibly all meld together as one great big collective, which to me is for the benefit of the river. That's what I look for. Te awa is the taonga, is the tupuna, and we've got to look after the whole thing. And I know from the way that the Nehenehenui, you are conducting your forums, it's exactly the way you're looking at the Waipā. And whatever happens, happens to the whole of the Waipā. So just congratulations to those of you who are sitting on the team. I'm fortunate I'm coming back in because I'm sat unopposed. So I'm hoping that I'll get this position again next year in the next term and see how this progresses, because it really, I do thoroughly enjoy this forum as well. So congratulations to everybody for the work done, and I look forward to next time, the next term that's coming up. Kia ora.
Kia ora,
Oh,
thank you for
and
that.
by the way, sorry, I forgot to congratulate you, Nita. Tēnā koe e noho nei I roto tēnei tūru e tēnō ātaahua tērā kōrero kia au. Lovely to have you in the house. May put it that way. Kia ora.
Kia ora, Tilly. Jamie.
Yeah, so just from me, like Stu says, it's been 3 years. I remember the first day at Te Nehenehenui when we went for the pōwhera, I didn't even know what we were doing. And I had Mayor John Robinson say, do you want to be the deputy chair? I'm like, I don't even know what we're doing. But I have learned, like Nana Tilly said, I have learned heaps. I've forged friendships with kaimahi that whether or not I'm sitting in this position in the next 3 weeks, again, for life probably, that I can absolutely be able to help whānau, hapu, iwi Māori go forward in any spaces. So I'm here, I thank you all for the opportunity to learn some new pukinga, to learn some new skills to be able to impart into the other facets of my life. But one of the things I will take away from here the most is that we talk about wai, we talk about the journey of our wai through our whenua, through our rohe, and that wai also translates to people, ko waikoi. So, I think too in that space, we have travelled the breadth of our rohe in terms of meeting each other. So I just wanted to ngā mihi kia koutou, whether you're on the hui tupa, hey Sam, if I'm not lucky enough to get a thing, kia ora, I would like a job. And vote. But I just wanted to say ngā mihi kia koutou katoa. Tēnā tātou.
Kia ora, Jamie. Right hand button, man.
Kia ora tātou. Yeah, it's been a journey for me, certainly to sit in a forum like this. like Jamie said, I was a bit unsure from the get-go how this forum would pan out, but it's been definitely a good experience and definitely a way in which to get to meet the various people, kind of who's in this situation. So, I just want to acknowledge all the kōrero that's been said today and acknowledgement to Ngera e te rangatira for your mahi, our chair, to the chairs, previous chairs. I want to acknowledge those people and also the people that have been working in the background to actually get this JMA agreement in process and getting those schedules over the line today. It's a big step moving forward. So just want to acknowledge that. And also want to acknowledge Auntie Tilly. Thank you for my muscle fritter the other day at the Ōtorohanga and my steak and egg burger and my other things I had there. Thank you very much, Auntie. And it's good to hear feedback from you too, Auntie, with your mahi on the council. So kia ora tātou.
You got it, everyone else says.
Yeah, kia ora tātou. I've sort of come in at the right time and got these schedules over the line. But I also have to acknowledge way back in under MMTB, we're trying to get these through as well. Let's acknowledge previous Trust Board members, Will Mugg, Ray Wee, and others. And yeah, so I was here then, stayed in the background and come up in the front, and yeah, won the game today. So kia ora.
Kia ora, Ronnie. Okay, hey, look, thanks everyone. Been a great experience, and these blooming elected roles are not always the easiest places, particularly this time of the year, but it's really good. I didn't know you, Jamie, when I joined this kaupapa, so it's always good to have friends and amongst all this stuff as well. It makes it a lot easier. So ngā mihi kia tātou katoa. And finally, Brooke, thank you. It's much easier being a chair when you've got a really good secretary administrator passing you little notes, say don't forget this, don't forget that. So thank you very much. On that note, I will hand over to you, Gannon, and we'll to close us up. Thank you.
Kia ora. Those that don't know, myself and Brooke used to work together at the Waikato District Council, so I'm glad to see her here doing this mahi. Nō reira, tēnei te mihi atu ki a koutou mō koutou kaha ki te hara mai, ki te tautoko o te kaupapa i te rangi nei. Nō reira, karakia tātou. Unuhea turu tapanui kia wātia, kia māma, te ngākau, te tinana, te wairua i te ara tangata. Hui ara I rongo I whakeria ki runga, tūturu, whakawhiti, whakamaua, kia tīna, haumie huie, kai kia mauri ora.
And our, I could say our cafe, but our smoker room's still open.